My question would be, you said,
Bro, I'm just.
why would I need to find things? I'm confused on where this motivation part came from. All right, Mr. Danny Garcia, you ready to kick us off, brother?
Yeah, or do you want to start us off this one?
I'll start us off.
Yeah, you want to? Go ahead.
Welcome back, guys. Passion of Profit podcast. We're very grateful because we're going to be, this should be Thanksgiving podcast.
Yep, Thanksgiving.
It should come out,
Thank you, Fredo.
before, maybe after.
Thank you, Fredo.
Who knows, somewhere around there.
You're supposed to say thank you back. Thank you, Fredo.
Thank you. What are we thanking each other for?
This is going to be Thanksgiving. It was just like,
some
little,
gratitude?
Yeah, a little theme. But either way, Passion of Profits, DG, Fredo, like, comment, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, unsubscribe, subscribe again. It helps. This is episode number
57.
Is it 57?
I don't know.
Honestly, we're going to go back and count them because I want to start doing that. I think that is a cool thing when people introduce their podcast and they got the number of it and shit and they got them all itemized out. So we're going to go back and do that, but just act like we knew what number it was. We're going to say 57 even though we don't know if that's the actual number.
Actually, I like 42 better.
42?
Yeah.
All right. 44 plus 2 is 6. 6 is the number of
666.
Yeah, there you go. See, we're going to try to draw it back to some conspiracy. But either way, how you been, bro?
Oh, I was going to ask you that.
Okay. I can go first or you want to go?
No, you asked me, so now I got to go. I'm pretty good. Busy week, but good week. Just finished a 3-day fast, but we could, we'll talk about that. I don't know, maybe.
3 days, huh? 72 hours.
3 days.
How was it?
Good
or
week.
you want to talk about it later?
We could go into it maybe after this. I'll see how you are. But good week.
Touch on it.
Oh, we haven't filmed in a while, but I'm glad to be back here.
Facts.
Filming. So yeah, I don't know. We just got busy last month. I don't even know what, but yeah, it's a good week. What about you?
Shoot, good. This past weekend, I met up with some old college buddies.
Okay.
And we went to LA, got an Airbnb. We went to the USC football game, which was like a super close game all the way down to the end. And then we went to the Chargers-Bengals football game, NFL, at SoFi Stadium. So it was a pretty fun-packed week. It was good.
What do you think about the Buffs?
The Bills?
Yeah, no. Sorry.
The Buffalo Bills?
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Okay, college.
You brought up USC, so I'm like.
So college is good to talk about, huh? College is good enough football. That's interesting.
Just real quick, though.
Just so everybody knows that's watching. Every week I ask this man, we should throw in some stuff about football because I'm more NFL. He's like, no, nobody would like to listen to that. I don't want to become a sports podcast, blah, blah, blah. But then you see how he changes it up when it comes to college.
Bro, I'm just a fat bandwagon. NCAA. Because even last year I was like, yo, Colorado's, I love them. And then this year they popped out.
What's their record?
8-2.
8-2?
Yeah.
Damn.
And
So are they still in the running to like I know in
like I think they're gonna end up in. See,
I know in college it's like college football. You can't even lose one game or maybe 2 games, and then you're out of contention for the championship.
They're still going. They still have a chance. Yeah, I don't know if people have to lose and then they have to keep winning, or if they just win them all out and then. Well,
the thing is, they'll have and I know this much because I watch the Pat McAfee show. Shout out Pat McAfee and the boys. Hey, yay. But either way, I listen to, so I know a little bit about it. First, what they do is they play for their conference, so whatever conference they're in, and they'll have like a championship for that, and then the champions of certain conferences, because then it goes into like the college football playoff bracket, and they go into a whole new like tournament to see who's like the champion of all college football. So you have to win your conference first, and then you get invited. But they have more seeds now. I think it used to be 8 and now it's 12. I don't know. Don't quote me. But either way.
Yeah, I was just.
So they still have a chance, and they're going dumb. I think honestly, Shador Sanders, which is the quarterback, and I know that much.
I think he'll go to the Raiders.
Honestly, he's gonna be. Yeah. He's league ready, in my opinion. I feel like he could go stupid. The question is, if he does go to the Raiders, you think Deion Sanders will come with him?
I think they've made it clear, yeah.
He is?
Oh no.
Deion Sanders?
No, I don't think he'll go with him to the Raiders. But since Tom Brady has been mentoring him for a while, and then Tom Brady just became partial owner, maybe. We'll see, though.
You never know.
But I don't know. The Raiders are just, you guys keep losing, huh?
Yeah.
But, hey, shout out, don't
Max Crosby. Damn, y'all still got Carr on there, though.
Yeah, I got a fucking that guy.
That's all good. Honestly, Raiders did him dirty. I feel like he should have retired a Raider.
No, they definitely did. Hopefully they don't mess up Max Crosby. But yeah. So all right, that's pretty good. And then you said USC, and then you went to the.
It was USC versus Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Ooh.
And honestly, I'm gonna not even cap. We ended up just getting too drunk. We only stayed for 1 quarter. We went tailgate, stayed for 1 quarter, and then dipped.
Damn. That's pretty bad.
And then we ended up in Compton at my boy Day Day's house. Shout out Day Day.
Damn.
I swear we did.
That sucks.
It's my boy J Hall's cousin. I'm like, blood. How am I in Compton right now, just bicking it?
I don't know. I probably would have just blacked out there. I wouldn't have left first quarter.
We left first quarter. We were just like, fuck, we're over to it. And honestly, like I said, I'm not even a big like college fan. I just went for like the vibes. And then I've never been to the USC stadium, so it was kind of lit. Went around. Had some barbecue. They honestly had pretty good food around there.
I've been at a UCLA stadium, but not SC.
Yeah, what's their stadium called?
I don't know either of their stadiums, to be honest. What they're called, at least.
Well, I know that's where they play the Rose Bowl, though, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's a nice stadium. But moving into Thanksgiving, since we're right around here, before we get into our gratitudes, I want to know what you're grateful for, anything about the year. But first, talk to me about your Thanksgiving meal. What dishes might you? What's your go-to if you could stack your plate? You get 5 choices.
5?
Or yeah, 5 choices.
Nah, I don't think 5. That's too many. I feel like a main and 3 sides is even a lot. Let's just say a main 2 sides, and then you got one runner up, like one that's like in a little dish, like right next to your regular plate. Because everybody know they go. At least DG, I'm gonna get more than one plate when I'm hooking up my Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Obviously, I got to go with turkey because I'm not a big carved turkey guy. I will have a turkey sandwich from now and again. But now and again, but there's also like I don't know what you eat like for what like do you
just if you could
turkey
just
like do you do the ham too?
If you're creating your plate.
Also, it's just all on DG. All right, then bet. Just want to make sure we're on a level playing field. But I am a big ham guy, but for some reason I don't gravitate towards the ham on Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna go carved turkey. And I gotta have gravy on the turkey. I don't know if that counts as a side or not. That's more like a dressing. So gravy on the turkey. I gotta get mashed potatoes. So turkey with gravy is my main. I'm gonna have mashed potatoes. I gotta go with mashed potatoes for one of my sides. I'm gonna go macaroni and cheese for another one of my sides, and then I'm gonna have to go corn. That may be like unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna have to go corn. I honestly put the corn on top of the mashed potatoes, and then I add even more gravy on top of that. All right. My mouth's watering just thinking about it. I need some fresh bread rolls too, but
all right.
That's my perfect Thanksgiving plate. What about
you? I'm gonna go ham, no turkey.
No turkey?
No turkey. So I'm gonna go ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes.
Damn, I missed the stuffing.
Gravy all over that joint. And if there's like some broccoli or some spinach or some vegetable, some
collard greens
or salad. Not collard greens though. I don't know. I can't really eat them.
Have you had them before?
Yeah, I'll eat them, but
some good ones.
I wouldn't choose them.
Side note: I actually had some at USC this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
I got like one of their barbecue dishes, and it came with brisket, macaroni and cheese, and greens. The collard greens. Yeah. They were honestly pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. It was my first time having them, but they were good. So I honestly probably not like a good person to say if they were good or bad because I haven't had them before, but they definitely were edible. I was smacking it.
You know what? I crave randomly, very, very randomly, and maybe it's off this fast, but gizzards. I'm just thinking about some chicken gizzards right now.
What the fuck are gizzards?
You never had?
Is that like a bug?
Like the neck.
Oh, the gizzard.
I don't know.
Look it up real quick. A gizzard, bud. That sounds like a fucking bug.
Gizzards. They are a organ found in the digestive tract of some animals. So, an organ of the digestive tract of chicken.
You're gross. What? A gizzard is a muscular organ found in the digestive tract, including birds, earthworms, and some crustaceans. It's also known as the ventriculus, gastric mill, and
you're going to give us the whole Wikipedia rundown?
Gigigerum. Birds, again, I'm just reading what it's about.
Anyway, so...
What do they taste like? What's the consistency?
I don't know. I can only eat like 7 of them and then I'm done. They disgust me, but I just like them. I had them in Texas one time and I was like, oh no, I actually had them at there's this place in Arizona. It's bomb. It's like a Roscoe's, but way better. And I had them there one time and they had like a DJ there. It was cool. I forget the place.
Gizzard. They're fire though?
I don't know. Yeah.
What do you put on them? I
could have like 7 of them.
What do you put on it? Hot sauce?
It comes with
barbecue.
Sauce.
Oh,
yeah,
does
you
it?
throw in some hot sauce and whatnot. But
Gizzards for life. Shout out gizzards. If y'all eat gizzards, drop it in the comments. Tell me what they like.
yeah. So
Drop some dubs in the chat.
what are you grateful for this year? How do you feel your year went?
You go first. I'm still thinking about mine. You go first.
That's fair. So
I mean,
well,
I could
first.
I could go first. I mean, I could say the generic statement like, "Oh, my family, my health, my life."
I'll let you think. Well, this year, had a pretty good. So I just finished a 3-day fast. That was kind of like last year. We did the first 3-day fast together in December, so a month early. So I just finished 3-day fast. I actually felt really amazing on this fast. I woke up with like massive energy today. I don't think I had this much energy when we did it last year. So start with that. That kind of ended what will be like my health journey. So like this year, I started at like 230 pounds. Maybe like
Damn.
Like 220, 230. I woke up today at 182.
We should put the before and after pics in the pod.
Yeah, we could do that. So I woke up at 182. So like finally this year, I kind of like it was actually in March. It was after Texas. It was right before Texas. I was about to leave, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be my last hoorah. Like after this, I cannot look at myself like this anymore. Because I left the Marine Corps in 2021 in like July, and from there it's been a rough 2 years, I'll say, like just mentally and just
physically
put myself in a lot of situations I probably should have not been in. So it's been like straining along with injuries. Literally, I had like 3 of them the last 2 years, and so like I was just this year
and you started leaning on food, eating your feelings.
That probably just alcohol too.
Alcohol too.
Alcohol plays a massive role because like
turns into sugar immediately in the bloodstream.
I ran a half marathon last year, and I did pretty good at it. I got like 2:02. Sadly, I couldn't get 2 hours 2 minutes. But like so like that was like I was doing things. I was still going to the gym, but I was just fat, like just disgusting. I was like, God damn. So right before Texas in March, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't. So since March to now, I was just like,
what was the motivating factor? Just how you looked at when you looked at yourself in the mirror, and how you felt.
I'm not trying to. Well, one, I'm not. I hope no one would take this as like fat shaming. Like all sizes are
Fat's
good.
Fat. What?
Well, but
we're not saying it's bad. We're just saying no.
Well,
actually, being fat is unhealthy, so I don't know why people think that. But
some people get like really like.
Yeah, I get it.
And so my thing was like, bro, like to me, it was my mental health. It was just like, I got that fat because like I was just in a shitty spot, and not saying that I'm not now.
So like your body reflected your mental.
I feel like it does. And I feel like in business, they always say like, oh, don't do business with a fat person. Like I really feel you've never heard of that.
Who said that?
Bro, because it's discipline. Me losing 50 pounds.
I'm sorry, that was hilarious. He said, "Don't do business with a fat person." That's how you said it. It was hilarious. I've never heard that before in my life.
Damn, I've heard that like a lot. Like,
really? Damn.
Like motivational speakers or like people
fat
who
discrimination.
Like, do that. Like it's like the way you look is a reflection of yourself and your habits.
Yeah.
So if to go from 250 to 180 or 230, whatever, lose 50 pounds. It was strictly discipline. There's nothing else. It was discipline in the kitchen, discipline in going to the gym. And that's what it was. Like those two disciplines, and it makes up me losing the weight. So I don't know. I think it was just some mental shit last 2 years. But like also another thing I'm grateful for this year is like setting myself in the position. And like we could talk a little bit about more like investing later, like crypto and this big boom, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like the last few months, I was like, damn, like I'm not about to be a New Year's resolutioner. So I was like, since like July and August, I was like, okay, start locking in. Like, get your bank account where you want to be. Get your brain like just advance every day, advance every week. Like read books, go to school, do something.
Get better.
Just get better instead of waiting for like.
Something to happen.
I've always done that. I've always been like, all right, I did it to start this. I was like, all right, after Texas, I'm going to start. But it's like, I probably should have just started before Texas of like losing some weight. But whatever.
But you started. That's all that matters.
Yeah. But a lot of people wait for like January 1st to make their vision board or do something. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to get caught there. So yeah, I think I'm just grateful for like now coming into 2026. Hopefully it's a good year. I mean, God willing, it'll be a good year, but I've really done the work right now to like put myself hopefully in the right position. At least I feel better. So yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. That was pretty good.
Those things. And family and health still alive, because last year was also a shit show. Actually, a year from about like right now. So last year, but just the incident. But
the incident. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are you done, or is there more?
No.
Okay, so for me, I think I'm thankful for along the same lines, like you kind of sparked some thoughts within me while you were talking, is that like just taking more value in my health, mental and physical, but I feel like more physical than mental, because I've never really like, I've always been like an active guy, worked out, and I've got the benefits from it, but I never really like worked out with a goal in mind. Like, hey, I want to get my biceps, or I mean, yeah, everybody wants to have fucking 6-pack washboard abs. So I've thought about it before. Rarely have I got there. I think maybe for like 6 months out of my life did I ever have a 6-pack, but I'm trying to get back there now. But like, I guess I've had goals in mind, but I've never took like calculated, disciplined steps towards like a commitment and a goal that I've had in mind as much as I've done this year. So really just building that, like, that drive, commitment, and discipline, just honestly, like, you know the definition of the words, but you don't know how it really feels until you start to put it in action yourself. Yeah. So that's one. I'm definitely thankful for that. Me and your sister, Sierra, we got engaged. I'm thankful for her. She's like, you know, my rock, my better half. I honestly have a theory that nobody really likes me. Everybody's just my friend because Sierra's my fiance and attached to me, so they're just like stuck with me because they love Sierra.
She might not be wrong.
No, yeah, but so definitely super grateful for that. Grateful for you guys, new half of the family now. Yeah. You know, my brother from another. So that. What else can I say? I've always prioritized like family, but just really taking time to hang out with my parents. You know what I mean? My mom and dad, they're on the like older side. They're both 70 now. So just really thinking about, you know, time's finite. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's limited, and one day they won't be here. So definitely just taking like, and I've always like, you know, took time to be with my family, but really putting an effort to it. Like, and then like, you know, like I have a thing, like when I say goodbye, like when people say bye, they honestly don't give it as just doing its credit that it is. Like when you say bye to somebody, that's like, hey, I might not see you again. We, you know, God forbid. Hopefully we do. Most of the times we do. But I'm saying bye. This could be the last time. I've really been taking in my bye, saying goodbye, like really an actually good goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Look at somebody in the eyes, tell them you love them, let them know like what you mean to them, and it being like a regular thing, not cheesy. And even though like still when I do it, I can feel like the tension, but that's just because it's not a normal thing. And people, for some reason, especially men, you know, going into the mental health of men, is like we've been taught by society not to, you know, express our emotions and tell each other how we feel, which is obviously expressing your emotions. So it's like I've taken time to do that and just get comfortable with it, even though it's something to me innately is uncomfortable. But I feel like it's because of social programming and conditioning, like I just said. So I've tried to take time to do that and really mean it. Business wise, you know, there's a lot of different stuff happening with the business. I mean, obviously QQ and the shit you're doing, which is very incredible, and you've allowed me to be a part of. Yeah. And you know, let me flip it around. We both got the QQ, got to represent. But that definitely, but also my music. I'm on the music side. The business side of the music is something that I've really attacked very diligently this last year. And I'm just thankful for where I'm at now. I'm definitely not content. And I lay awake at night sometimes thinking, am I doing enough? Probably just like we all do at some point or another. But I know where I'm at now and where I came from, and especially, I mean, where I'm at now this year versus where I was at last year, just with the business and music and vision, the artistry, all of it kind of just feels like it's coming together. So yeah, those are just some things that I'm thankful for. It's been, honestly, talking about it, I think it's been a pretty good fucking year. You know, I can kind of get lost within myself, just always working on the negative stuff or the things that aren't exactly how I want them to be, because those are stuff we're working on, right? But I don't take a lot of time to stop and be like, you know what? Think about all the positive things that have happened and all the stuff that have gone right. Yeah. I feel like it's easy for people to do that. It's not just me, but yeah, I mean, that honestly made me feel good just hearing myself say it.
Or you said like two things that I want to touch on. one of the biggest things that you said was about your goodbyes. I think that is downplayed so much, and I think that's something I actually take to heart. And I think the first time I realized that, because I think this needs to get a big emphasis, because the first time I experienced death, and not like me or a family member, but was like the Marines, the dudes that like died, and that shit ate me beyond measures, because, and it still does to this day. And it's more of the fact that like I know what it was like to say bye, or to, and I feel like I've said this on one of the pods, but to be like arguing with my mom one Monday morning, and then knowing I'm going to the field, which is like what they did, right? And then them going to the field and just being like, and not even saying bye, right? Like, I'm going to the field to go train real quick. I'll be back in like 3 days. Like, fuck,
it'll be all good.
Some of those kids, I mean, they really were, in a way, had wives, had kids. So some of those men had wives, had kids,
had families.
And who's to say that they didn't argue with their wife on their way out about something dumb, or that they said a proper goodbye. And all of a sudden now they're at the bottom of the ocean, dead. They drowned. So like that was my first real experience. And like I'm telling you, like it eats me, because like when I take off on a plane, like I always tell people, and like if you ever see Sierra's chat or when you're with her, like, okay, mom, I'm leaving, love you guys, in the chat. Or just when you do something, it's very like it should be intentional. Same with the night, with me and my incident. Like I didn't say bye. I kind of was drinking already before and left. But like, why would I say bye to my mom going to a club? Like, why would I? I'll see her tomorrow. I'll see her later tonight, or I'll see her tomorrow.
So you think
who said I was gonna get to see her? And I think like that's a real thing that people don't understand, is like nothing is promised, like nothing. And I think we just skip over that, because I don't know why. Like I could sit here and talk for a whole hour about this, but like it's point and simple.
Well, it's because you have to think about death. People don't think about it.
People don't think about it, but like, yeah, you are not promised another minute. No one says I get to live this next minute. I could pass out on a heart attack.
Tomorrow's not promised.
And I think that's awesome that you're doing that. I don't really, to me, words can't describe that. And I think that it's something I took really serious. I mean, like I've probably like pondered in my head for hours, and like maybe even shed tears, because I was just like, it frustrated me with the fact that that's how this works, and that it's kind of just looked over. I hate getting ghosted. I don't do that by people like I care about, right? But or not just ghosted, but like I hate not leaving on the right note. If I argue with you and I know I'm about to go do something, right, not go to the club, but like if
anything,
do something dangerous or whatever, or a fishing trip, I'm like, okay, like let's not fucking continue this argument. Like, are we good? We're okay. Like if I fucking die, our last conversation shouldn't be an argument.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like, yeah, I hate leaving off on bad notes, really. So we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
But I think that's great. The other thing you said is, God dang it. Well, I'm going to tie it into, it's something you said, and it'll click to me when I start talking about this. But Tony Robbins, have you heard of this?
Motivational speaker,
yeah. Author.
My dad actually really loves him, so I grew up like knowing about Tony Robbins and having his books and his audio tapes back when they made audio tapes.
Yeah, well, I started watching a lot of his podcasts and stuff, and like Stanford has done tests on him. It's really crazy. I think maybe some of it does tie into mental health, but it was something else that you said that made me think of this. And basically, Tony Robbins, he like. Where am I? What are some of the things you said?
Play it back. We can watch it.
Back. No, I wanted to think.
I don't remember what the fuck I said. I was freestyling.
Freestyling your gratitude.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Well, I talked about obviously the engagement to your sister. I don't think that's what it was about. Yeah, no. I said the obvious thing that you're talking about, which is saying goodbyes, and then I talked about the business of the music and business in general that we've been doing. And that I've been doing with the music. Well, what else did I say I was thankful for? We could pause it and watch it back real quick. This is going to bother the fuck out of me.
Oh, well. Well, so needless to say. Oh, well. Well, Tony Robbins, you're a good guy. I love watching you, because I don't know where I was going to go with that, but it did make me think of Tony Robbins, something that you said. And but about him, I mean, Stanford's done like many tests on him. Like I don't even know. You said something, I immediately thought of Tony Robbins.
I'm saying let's just pause it and watch it back real quick.
No,
That's so easy to do that.
We're not gonna.
Why not?
I don't know. We're just not gonna do that.
All right. All you see is a dictatorship. This isn't a democracy.
Yeah.
He just says how it is, and that's how it is.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. Honestly, is that your favorite? That's my favorite holiday personally.
I like Christmas.
Really? I haven't had Christmas off in like 5 years. I choose to work Christmas so that I can have Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I feel like Christmas could be, maybe I'm older, no kids, nothing, no like wife. I feel like Thanksgiving is just funner.
I don't know. I just something about Christmas. I think it may be, I don't know if it's about like family getting together because that's like Thanksgiving too, or if it's just about like opening presents that I really loved. I just always loved Christmas. Just the time of year, even though I live in California and I never really had like a white Christmas, like seeing the Christmas trees with the snow on them in any type of like, iteration or like even, I don't know, just the feeling of the Christmas and then like decorating the Christmas tree with ornaments and like the whole shit with like Santa and like just the lore around Christmas, I feel like is something I like. I like how it's like a make believe, like, hopefully no kids are watching this. It's like make believe, like myth tied around the holiday that everybody decides that they're going to play along with. And it's like everybody's in on the fucking, on the secret type
shits.
thing. And you just like play it up. And some people play it up a little less or more than others. And I don't know, there's something about it I really like. And maybe it getting cold out, having like hot cocoa with like a little fire going, got your Christmas tree, like I said, decorated, presents wrapped all neat and nice under the tree. I like personally, anybody out there is thinking about getting me a present for Christmas, I like the shiny like wrapping paper, and then with the little like bows on it, how they put, I mean the stockings on like right above the fireplace on the mantle. Stockings was always my favorite part of Christmas. Just going in, you got like a little like goodie pack, you know what I mean, before you get to the presents or after, however you guys do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just Christmas Day just kind of doesn't. You just watch people open presents, and to me now, I'm just like, I don't really care to.
You don't like that?
I don't know. I feel like
Thanksgiving. Okay if you don't.
Thanksgiving is more family-ish.
I'm not gonna judge you.
Now, yeah, I don't know.
Right now, just sit there and watch people eat. It's the same shit, except something else.
Well, so for Thanksgiving, more family of mine is together on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Whereas for Christmas, it's just like immediate family. You watch people open presents, and that's kind of Christmas. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
When I was young and like a lot of my family lived next to each other in the Bay Area, we'd obviously do that where you wake up, you open your presents. But then everybody, all my family would come over and we'd just have like the craziest Christmas party ever. We're playing board games, doing like all the kids would come together and we're all playing out in the fucking street and a football game gets started, kids actually playing outside. I don't know if kids do that anymore or not, but it's like that type of thing. I don't know, just that vibe. And then also it's like having like the school off,
Maybe that.
You'd have like 2 weeks. It was like 2 week winter break that you would have, bro. I love that time. And then also it's like everybody else is off too. So it's like if you can get some time to go out on one night and hook up with your favorite girl or, link up with your boys and go out, just running around the streets like when there's nothing to do. Like you have to find other kids to like do shit with. Like you're running around on the streets as a kid. All of it just makes me feel like
I mean, I'm not saying I love Christmas.
Ugly Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, I loved it when I was younger, but right now, like I don't like this Christmas. I don't care if I was at home to open presents at 8 a.m. or if I was at work.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I guess I've
always been in jobs where like the holidays don't like.
I see Christmas as more family centered and focused than Thanksgiving, and I have no idea why. It's just a way that I just realized right now, like while you were talking, because you're saying that's why you like Thanksgiving more, and that's funny. It just may be how like our two separate families celebrated the two separate holidays, But for me, I think about Christmas, and I think it's way more of like a family holiday, or I get more like wholesome family vibes from Christmas than I do from Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I feel maybe because Thanksgiving is like for everybody. Like you're supposed to be it's in the title, right? Thanksgiving. You're supposed to be giving thanks to almost like everything and everybody and everyone you see. It's not necessarily just family. Whereas Christmas, you're obviously usually just getting presents for the people you love. Yeah. And it's like, you know, you're not baking turkeys for everybody you love on Thanksgiving. Like you actually have to go out and put effort in to like each relationship that you really value. You know what I mean? I feel like most of that is family, but there's also people that we all.
Time out. I got it.
See, I've been thinking about it the whole time too. What is it?
Renting. You were talking about how you envision yourself with the way you work out and stuff.
Okay.
So Tony Robbins,
got it, baby.
Tony Robbins.
I told you. Why didn't we just go back and watch it? We would have known.
This was amazing.
See, this is making me happy. I was literally talking, but really in the back of my mind, there was a little part of DG that's just thinking about like, hey, what was I talking about? Like, I'm trying to get it back. All right.
So Tony Robbins talks about how like you have to envision yourself like doing things. So like you talked about your mindset and like how you're grateful that, you know, you brought up working out and how you're taking it a little more serious and how you're like trying to envision yourself in places. Well, Tony Robbins talks about like, you know, I can sit here and think about like, oh, okay, like I'm manifesting. I want blank and blank and I see myself here and this and that. But you have to be able to actually envision yourself, like mind muscle connection in the gym. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I know, but I don't know if you ever heard of this. But like if I'm like, I want to, you know, be better in business for singing. Like I have to envision myself on the stage and actually like see it. Like you can't, you know, the experience you get when you're on a roller coaster and like, you're like, oh shit, like you're going down. Like, okay, I just went down the roller coaster. Like you feel it, you see it, you can like imagine it. Rather if you're like thinking about the feelings being at the amusement park gave you. So there's two different things. There's the, oh, I can remember how the amusement park made me feel like it was cool. Or I can like
really visualize myself.
I can kind of visualize my future, right? I can like visualize it in the way I want it to be, but I'm not actually connecting with it. So if we're able to like connect with it, like actually like sit down and like, no, like I'm an artist. Like I'm going to be doing a feature or someone's going to feature on my shit. Like, no, that's where I'm at. Yeah. Or like I am the founders of QQ and QQ is going to be up there competing with other dating apps, or no, this is our podcast, or, you know, what have you, or I'm this successful X person. So really that was one of like the latter things, the most recent things that I took from Tony Robbins. Cause like I do this, like you ever sit down and you write, have you ever manifested? Have you ever wrote stuff down?
I mean, I've never written manifestations down. Okay. I mean, I write my raps down, which I feel like are just as valid.
Yeah, no. So like I've done this where like, I'll like write down my stuff and I'll be like, okay, by, 6-month goal, 20,000 in the savings account. Okay. In 1 year, I want $50,000 worth of investments. Blah, 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 blah. But like, you're not feeling that. Like, you're not like, damn, 50,000 like I walk around like, okay, I got 50K in equity in my house. That's an investment. Okay. Let's bump that number up because that's not actually that good. So like, okay, I have like 2 properties and I can see it. I can see where they're at. And like, I can know that, okay, this house is in Bakersfield. This one's in Ventura. Okay. What's the next? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he talks about really feeling the emotion, and it was kind of something to like what you were saying about feeling, like how you're feeling and like what you're.
Did you fucking lose it again?
No. I don't remember the exact words that you.
He said, it was when he was working out.
Oh yeah, when I was working out.
He would never really like.
I didn't have a goal. It wasn't.
You didn't have like a goal. So like once you like bring that goal and you see it, you're like you're on it. So that was just one of the things he said. And then he said like, yo, like you got to wake up and give like 10 minutes. Like if it costs you 10 more minutes to wake up sooner, then just do it. Or right before bed, and you use like 3 minutes to like really envision it, 3 minutes for gratitude, and then 3 minutes of just like being present. So like instead of I'm grateful I woke up, like no, I'm like I'm alive again, blah 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 blah. Like for 3 minutes, and you just break them up and like you actually envision where your life is at. And they did a study on him. Stanford did multiple they did a 3-year study on him, and they were like, no, like this shit works. Like
They did
whatever he's
They
doing.
did a study on Tony Robbins or people that did what Tony Robbins was saying
basically
to do.
Tony Robbins had he doesn't believe in like not I'm not going to take words. It's not that he doesn't believe in depression. He believes that the medication given for depression is just a number. It just numbs people.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like this Prozac and whatever else it is doesn't actually cure depression. But they're like, okay, this is weird because when you do your 5-day seminars for 12 hours a day, like people are leaving amped and like changing their courses of life. Like you're doing something right without medicine. So they got really interested in it, and they started studying him, like him, and then the people he was delivering messages to. So one of the studies, it was 3 years, and they would pop into different seminars he would have, and they would like attach a machine on him. And then like during breaks, they would take his saliva, take his blood work multiple times during that seminar, and they would go test it. And I guess what they would see was his cortisol shot down, but his testosterone shot up. And in turn, it was a reaction to the crowd, and they would do the same thing. So it's really weird, and I'm not going to go into like if I know the whole story, but like it was something along these lines. And basically they're like, no, this is crazy. Like this guy's curing like depression and helping people get motivated and being present.
Yeah, he's a good motivational speaker.
And getting things going. Well, I would give him a little more credit than that.
Well, I'm just saying, to put it into perspective for people that are listening, he's a very good motivational speaker because of the reasons that you just stated.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what he was talking about. And like, for like, this is kind of crazy. Are you religious, Charlie? A little bit. Are you religious?
We could talk about that.
Yeah,
later.
we could talk about it.
That's
later.
a whole different conversation for another time. I got a lot of shit we could break down about that, Poppy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna break it down, but like
I don't believe in traditional religion,
okay,
or the traditional like term of religious. No, but I am spiritual.
Well, when I was listening to him speak about this, it brought something to me, and I was like, and I said this recently to someone, and they're like, "Yo, time out. Did you just hear yourself say that?" And I'm gonna now say, and one of the so I pray at night. Like I try to, like, if I don't pray, I'll give one of the reasons, but there's other times where I'm like, I literally just passed out. Or if I'm come home drunk, then I probably am not praying that night. But some days, and this could go into gratitude and like trying to grow, but like there's some days where I'm like, I'll lay in bed and I'm about to pray, and I'm just like, I just don't know if anyone's listening.
You're listening.
You're listening. And I just, clearly, but like, and I'll just not pray. Not because I'm too tired, because I'm like, damn, I don't know if someone's listening. Which anyone listening to this and is like faithful and like believes in God, like they'd probably be like, yo, that's like your faith isn't that strong. And I'm not going to defend it. Clearly, that is probably a definition of like not having that strong of faith.
But but there's something you said that I want to touch on real quick.
Okay, go for it.
When you said praying, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought, or maybe like I can introduce the thought to you, that praying is just another form of manifestation?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Here's what I'll say.
You're talking about manifesting.
I'm like you. I don't. Very true. So hold on, and I'll tie that in together. I don't go to church on Sundays like I should, but I have been, like, over this year. I was like, I need to start praying. Like, I need to talk to someone at night. Like, I do believe if I am successful, I will give it back all to you. Like, God is great. Like, I'm alive by a miracle, and we could really dive into this shit, but we won't. But needless to say, like, the same thing goes to manifesting. There's days I'll look at my boards, which you've been in my room. I have multiple manifestation boards and goals. I'll look at them. I'm not going to read them off. I don't know if that shit is even happening. I feel like this fucking board is not happening, but it's written there, and I gave dates to it. And why is it not happening?
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
But it comes with action too. But and I feel like I am putting action, but like sometimes it's not.
You got to believe it though.
You got to believe it.
That's what manifesting is. That's what real prayer is.
But I'm not saying that I don't believe it. Sometimes I just look at it, I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's what
I'm not smacking the goals.
But
or when I'm praying and I'm talking to God, and I'm just like,
you got to have faith that you got to have faith at some level. You know what I mean? And even if that faith is just in yourself, the fact that we're all here on this earth, we're all connected, we all have the same bodily organs. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking chimpanzee, a goat, a cow, or a human being. Yeah. We all have the same process within our body that keeps us alive and keeps us living and wakes us up, and the things that we do at night, we're on an elevated level of it with relationships and all the different shit that play into it. But it's like, bro, that's not an accident. You know what I mean? And people could say it's an adaptation of just being where we are in the cosmos or the solar system and how far away we are from the sun. If we were any closer to it, we'd burn up. If we were any further away, it'd be too cold for us to live. But I feel like based off millions of years of evolution, blah, 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 we'd adapt regardless. But there's something within all of us, you know, that I'm drawing this back to. It's the life force, the force within all of us. Charlie here, me, you, Fredo, like, we're all here and we can speak, talk. I can be quiet, and when I think in my head, I can hear. I have a voice inside my head that I can hear. I got a soul. I can look at it when I look in a mirror. Like, that's something that is beyond us. We're not supposed to understand it right now. I don't think maybe anybody alive ever will, but it's something that we'll understand at some point, and maybe it's when we die. But there's something that's greater than us, and I feel like the term God, in my opinion, stands for like the life force universally within all human beings. Energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
that's something that's beautiful, and I feel like that's something to talk about, just the force of the universe and like in general, and the energy that goes around. Energy is something that can scientifically be proven, and it's inside all of us. And when we die, that energy passes on somewhere, wherever it passes on. I'm not saying it goes to heaven. Maybe it gets recycled and it comes back into some form of reincarnation, or you get fucking reincarnated into a tree or a fucking gorilla, whatever. But either way, it's like there's something there. We just don't know it. You know what I mean? So have faith that you know, and it's like when you set off, like, don't even manifest then if you're not going to believe it. Like, when you don't believe it, that's when you have to really fucking do it. Well, that's when you're building that discipline.
I think
it's just like the gym. The days where you don't want to work out, that's when you need to go in there and work out, because those are going to be the days that stack up. Like, those are the ones that are important. It don't matter when it's easy. You're not gonna. Your discipline and your faith is never tested if everything's fucking easy. It's about when the shit's hard. That's the most important times to do it, honestly. And I'm not knowing that for a fact. I'm just saying by what common sense dictates for me in my life. So that's
I'm not saying that you misinterpreted anything, but my point there was saying, like, like what Tony Robbins was saying about, like, you got to like feel it and envision it. Same thing. Like, I brought that up because it was like, oh shit, like with like praying, like I was just like, kind of like some days I would just, because one, I really do like believe in God. Like, I believe in energy and I believe in God. And maybe they contradict themselves on some level, because I think energy could be almost scientific, because you are right. It almost can be proven to an extent. And the manifesting, it's not that I walk in and I'm like, oh, this is when I should do it. It's just sometimes when you actually work towards something. If I was like, my goal is to do 1,000 push-ups, and then in 10 weeks, and then I don't do them, but I actually work towards it and it didn't happen, it's like, fuck.
That's still a dub.
Well, and I'm not debating that. But I'm just telling you how it's been for me, where I'm like, I'm not going to read these fucking boards today because I missed. Or just because, maybe I lose a little bit of faith, but that's not saying that I didn't try, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do. Can you always try better? Always. Yeah. Yes, all this is true.
I understand why you're not doing it.
The point just being was that, like, kind of, it goes back to the thing that I was talking about with Tony Robbins, is like, just envision it, like sit in it, like continue to do the things, but it goes also to, don't just read it. Look at it and try and see yourself there.
Believe it. Soak it in.
Exactly.
What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it taste like?
Exactly.
What type of clothes would you wear?
I could give a shit less about that. Look at this.
Well, I'm just saying that those are the type of things you need to think of in detail if you're talking about really manifesting in that way. And I'm going to be honest, I don't believe in manifesting. I'm just talking from a position, if it was true, those would probably be some of the laws of physics or rules in general that you'd need to follow to make sure that it happens. Me, I kind of try to live my whole fucking life like it's one big manifestation. Everything that I do, I carry around that type of like vibe with me, where like it almost gives me that boyish kid nature about me, where like anything's possible.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Maybe you don't believe in the traditional ways of manifestation, but I believe
I always thought
manifests in some sort of way, and if you listen to the most successful people in the world, I guarantee you there's something out there saying, no, I literally manifested this shit by board or by fucking screensaver.
Well, let me reiterate. I don't believe in the traditional ways of manifesting. I probably do, but it's along some different lines. And I feel like, bro, it's not like cutting out some shit out of a magazine and pasting it up on a board and then you're going to become rich. You know what I mean? Like, and this is all leading to a question that I'm going to ask you, but it's like, it's about everybody has their own relation. Everybody should have their own unique relationship with the things that we're talking about right now, which are kind of almost connected, which I didn't know, like religion and manifestation. Like you can have your own relationship with it that's good within you. I don't go to fucking church every Sunday. Do I think I'm going to hell? No, I feel like my own relationship with God or the universe or whatever energy, whatever you want to call it, is my relationship, and I have my own way of nurturing that relationship and talking to it and leaning on it when I need it. But it's not just because I don't show up. There's a lot of people that show up on church every Sunday, and then the other 6 days out of the week they're sinning left and right. So it's like you just showing up, like you said, or just pasting it on the board and reading it to yourself. Yeah, that's not going to do it. That's just part of what it takes to do it. You know what I mean? And so it's like I started all that to ask you this: is like, why do you do it? Why do you do the manifesto? Why did you like cut out, make the vision boards, do the affirmations?
I really believe. I mean, I think it goes back to the weight stuff, discipline, like legitimate discipline, and I have fallen short upon being disciplined in faith and or my energy and manifestations. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I don't know. I watched enough people that like really believed in like have real life evidence. Well, who's to say that it's real? I didn't see their vision board, but
you've seen enough about it. Everybody's whole lives are on social media.
Talked about it, and my craziest thing of manifestation is like I almost don't want to say it. I have manifested things myself, but there's one. Fuck, how do I say this? It's actually trippy. I have a buddy, and when you're a naive young infantry Marine, 18 and 19, you think that the thing to do is to go to war and you're going to kill someone. So I had a buddy walk around and say, I promise you, I will be the first one to bag somebody. You can ask anyone in the platoon. He would tell us all, I promise you, I will be the first person to bag somebody. Over and over and over and over again. He's a cop. 3 months in, he bagged somebody. He never said he was going to do it in Iraq. He just said, I'm going to be the first one. He was the first one. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it there. No name, no police department. It was a good shooting. Blah, 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 blah. He bagged somebody. That, to me, that is manifestation. Whether it's the right one, and maybe his thoughts and his words, he spoke it into existence, and maybe he didn't really know the weight it was going to carry, but he did. And he
if that was his real fucking, goal or passion or manifestation in life, I mean, he kept putting himself in those situations, you know what I mean, to make sure it happened. Like if you're a cop and you're working in a place that's kind of gritty, you're probably going to have to use your firearm before your career's over. You know what I mean?
That's just one. But the other examples, like my personal ones, I don't really want to talk about them, but I think if another thing that, I
want to go back to the question, which was, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do, which is like, why do you manifest? If you don't really necessarily, it sounds like you halfway believe in it, or you believe.
No, I fully believe in it.
You believe in the theory, but maybe you don't believe in that concept of it, because I was just trying to ask.
Here's my thing.
What was your motivation for actually like
fully believe
cutting it out, sticking it to the board, putting that up?
I fully believe in manifesting, and like you will get those things. How do I say this? I fully believe in it. Sometimes I don't know if it requires me to look at it every night before I go to bed and read off of it. There's no fucking script that says, hey, how to manifest. You cut it out, you paste it on a board, and you have to say it 10 times to yourself. And then in 5 years, it'll all be true. No, there's no rule book to it.
Exactly.
But I fully believe in the principle that you
believe something
and you cut them out and you look at it. Because I do look at it. And there's times where I'll go to bed and I'll look at each one and I'll say it, or I'll say like, whatever. And there's times I do that, and there's times I just don't. And the times I don't, it's just because I didn't sit there and go back to Tony Robbins and sit there and be like, no, like I am the rawest fucking videographer out there.
And just because you didn't say it every day to yourself doesn't mean it won't come true. You know what I mean?
And I'm not saying that either, but I think there's times where I'll like just like look at it and get in bed. But I didn't envision myself there. I'm just going off of what one of the principles Tony Robbins was talking about. And I brought all this stuff up about religion and then how we got into manifestation just based off the original principle of what Tony Robbins kind of talked about. Is like just like this shit works.
Yeah,
And
you fucking cut me off when I was talking about why I like Christmas so much.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. But you see, chat, you see everybody listening that when he wants to talk about something, right away, it's all good. We talking about it all day long. DG wants to say something, it's a fucking federal offense. So, I just want, at least y'all were here to see it this time. I got witnesses.
So,
and Charlie, my dog. Oh, but
two thoughts.
No, hold on. I want to go back to what you were saying a little bit, even though I was fucking around. So basically, like I asked that because I was bringing it back to my point of like everybody has their own unique relationship with it, you know? Yeah. And so it's like just because you don't sit there and say it every day doesn't mean it won't happen. Like me personally, I'm going to give you my opinion. I always thought that cutting shit out, pasting to the board, like that was gay shit. That was for like little girls. I ain't doing no fucking arts and crafts. I get up and really go make my shit happen. That's my religion with it. Obviously, that's a wrong way to think about it. That's how I used to think about it when I was like more naive and ignorant. I still don't believe in it. I don't believe in doing all that stuff. It's cool to have if you're going to visualize it, but do something with it. You know what I mean? Don't just, like you said, hang it up on your wall, say that to yourself every day, and then go off to your fucking McDonald's job and then come home and not do nothing else. Like, you know what I mean?
And I think that's,
because me, I'm gonna get up and do this
exactly
shit.
What
I can lay down and just tell it to myself, but then I actually have to put my like one foot in front of the other and get up and do it. And me having a board on my wall personally doesn't help me. Now, like I said, I used to think that was just like some girl shit. Does that mean that's what it is? No, but that's like my naive and ignorant thinking as a young man. That's how I used to be.
And I think, and we'll kind of end with this unless you have something back.
No, that was all I wanted to say.
I think. One, you're absolutely true. Two, the reason why I cut shit out, some of the most successful people, my favorite people I watch, said that they cut shit out and it literally got their fucking exact joint. So I'll leave that there. But also too, with adding action, I always tell people who like say like, oh, I'm going to make my vision board and manifest. Like, that's
honestly,
wait, hold on.
But I commend you for trying. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's
just
not
trying
really
to become
trying.
better.
Hold on, I'll tell you how it's trying. That isn't trying. You are right.
Well, I just mean trying to be better. You know what I mean? Trying to manifest it all.
I'm going to finish with this is for those people that are out there that do say they manifest or whatever. One, I'm not to say that you aren't, but I do believe the only thing that will make whatever vision you have, along with believing it and seeing yourself in it, is action. And if you look at my vision board, it looks pretty fucking crazy. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like,
well, does it induce you to act?
Well, hold on. I don't know. Let's see what QQ does, or let's see what this does that I'm doing, or let's see where my fucking crypto wallet goes. Like, who knows? I don't know. But needless to say,
when you look at it, are you like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get that right now? Like, does it motivate you?
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the end of the day, the people that you said that you really admire that are millionaires and very successful, it might have motivated them. You know what I mean? But you're Fredo. You're not Bill Gates or Elon Musk or whoever else you really admire. Not that you admire them. I'm just throwing out big names.
Sorry, the three people I don't.
Okay, yeah. I'm not, but I was just using that as an example for people you may do admire. Replace those names with people you do admire, but big people that are successful and rich. Those are the only reason I was saying those names. And so that's what they did, because that's what motivated them. But you're Fredo, you know what I mean? I'm Danny. We're gonna all have our own things.
I am putting action.
I didn't say you didn't. You don't gotta yell at me.
No. But you started going back into the tangent of like.
I'm not going back into the tangent. I was just saying it should be unique to you. Like, you know what I mean? And that may not be unique to you.
My board is not.
Yeah, I'm saying making the board, doing it. You know what I mean? Like for somebody, like let's say who's somebody you really admire that does the board.
Steve Harvey's like the number one person.
Okay, so let's say Steve Harvey, when he makes a vision board, he looks at that every day, and it really does put something inside of him and motivates him in a different way than it would be if Fredo looked at it or made a board, or if Danny looked at it and put his goals on a board. Like we may just look at it, it may just be another board does. Like you have to find your own version of a vision board.
No, I like everything I do manifesting wise. I love it. What I'll tell you is sometimes I don't. What?
I wasn't saying you don't love it.
Oh, well, no, I'm telling you, yeah, it's unique to me. I have multiple boards.
Well, because
things.
Based off what you're saying, it doesn't. Because you said some days you get up, you look at it, and
Danny,
it doesn't
I was
really
going
do
back
for
to
you.
telling you I need to. It goes back to Tony Robbins, just saying after listening to a lot of that, I was like, I just need to be more disciplined. That's it. It does motivate me. It is unique to me. I just need to be more disciplined, and when I wake up and just be like, okay, like this is where we're at. Like,
now, I never said it doesn't discipline you. I was saying maybe do the board, but find something more like things that connect with that, like in that same type lane. You know what I mean? Does that make sense or no?
I mean, personally, no.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
So it doesn't make sense to find things that push you forward and can motivate you.
Who's saying that the board doesn't is what I'm asking.
You said that it doesn't. I'm going off what you said. I'm going off your words. So if I misinterpreted them, then
I think you did misinterpret. I think you did.
But I'm saying even if so let's say that the vision board does motivate you. Okay. Would it be bad to find something else that also motivates you just as much as the vision boards?
I would love to hear ideas.
No, I'm asking you, would that be a good thing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
If
that's
you
all
had
I
an
was.
idea.
That was my point. That was my point.
Okay.
Find other things that motivate you. So that's all I was trying to get
But
at.
wait, I don't even know where you got into. Guys, now we're arguing. My
not
question
arguing.
would be, you said find
bro,
other.
I'm just
Why would I need
the
to find things? I'm confused on where this motivation part came from.
Because you started talking, you posed a question, right? You pose sometimes that you pray and you're thinking, hey, is anybody listening to me? You look at your vision boards and sometimes you just don't want to say the affirmations because you don't necessarily feel like it's what you want to do.
So you interpreted that with my lack of motivation for it?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so I would say that you interpreted wrong.
Or belief.
So I would say that you interpreted wrong, and that's okay. You did interpret wrong.
Well, I'm just saying belief, faith, whatever it is.
No, and that's why I keep going back, and I've said it now 4 times.
Then stop fucking saying it. I understood what you said. I'm just giving you my opinion on what you said and based off what it sounded like to me.
Okay, and I'm telling you interpreted wrong.
Okay, I mean, honestly, I disagree just based off how you said it. You were saying that it was something that you do and you were having questions about. What was the question that you had about it?
It's more of an internal question that I was posing to anyone that's watching of like, sometimes we lose faith in like, you know, but that I wouldn't say that and I wouldn't say faith
okay
either. It is okay. Faith. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm saying, but sometimes I'm like, fuck, I really put in the work for this shit. Like I really put in the work. That's it. I really put in the work and it didn't come to fruition at whatever X time. So then there's days in periods of time where maybe I'm like, fuck, I put in the work. It didn't come out.
And
you lose a little lack of faith, but that's not motivation because I still got up the next day and still ran the
Bro, we're splitting hairs. It could be motivation. It could be
faith.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
But you just brought him up, and that's fine. I was just didn't know.
Well,
it
seemed to trigger you, so I didn't mean to trigger you. I'm not saying you lack motivation. We all lack motivation at certain points. I lack motivation. Everybody does, brother, in certain ways.
No,
but
I think we're splitting the words. Yeah, now we're.
Splitting words. I'm just going off what you were saying. I said something just like kind of went left. You know what I mean?
Then you said with the board, right? Is there something else you could do that'll motivate you? And I'm like, no, the board does motivate me.
It was just an example, bro. It was just an example. I'm saying because if you don't have 100% belief in it, like let's say, like you said, you put out a goal. You said the goal 100 times to yourself in the mirror every day before you woke up, and it didn't happen. Now, if that didn't happen, and that is starting to step or encroach on your beliefs for it because that's what they said. Hey, go ahead and do it. And you did it and it didn't happen. That would make you start to not believe it. I'm saying, okay, well, maybe you could find a different version of that, but that's unique for you. That's what I was going.
I was also posing but
that was my whole point. Yeah. I wasn't trying to say I was
posing a relation to the audience
to you being unmotivated.
Because maybe anyone watching this has felt something like that. So it's really just like, hey, like, I don't know. Does anyone else relate to this? Not going into there's other ideas better. I think there's millions of ways of do things. It was just more like, does anyone else relate?
I got it. I was just taking what you said and I was going down another road with it because you were using a personal story from it. And I was like, also using your story as something for everybody else because what we're talking about right now, I'm sure a lot of people have probably gone through. And since they have, I was saying that was just a different way to think about it. Does that mean it's right? No, it doesn't mean it's right. But that's just something that I believe. And it got like way left because I'm talking about a personal thing that's obviously close to you or your personal story. But that's just like what was the topic of discussion. So that's why I use it as an example. I wasn't saying that it was 100%, hey, this is what you need to do. But I was just going based off the point that you were making. I was making my own point. That's it. But either way, like I said, I wasn't trying to allude to you being unmotivated or you need to find something else to do or something new to do whatever.
It wasn't anything to do with...
we're not even talking to each other. Like you said, we're talking to the audience. So I was just using your story to bring a point to them. But either way. We're good now. So,
all right,
but based off of what you were saying with the manifesting, because we can make it a good segue into crypto, because I asked you, I was like, why do you manifest? And you were like, because you see some of the most like successful and most famous people or people that you look up to do it. So with crypto, that's the same reason like why I started investing in it, because it was a boom. And this was something that we were kind of talking about on the phone. It's like, how are you supposed to know like a month before something is really going to blow up, or like an investment that you made? Like if somebody told you, hey, put $1,000 in this, you said no, but then a month later, anybody that put 1,000 in would have been 10,000. It's like, yeah, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass for not investing, but how are you supposed to know? Hindsight's 2020.
So I think the number one thing, and like, I think this goes into what I said way earlier with now where I'm setting up myself financially. Point blank, cash doesn't do good for nothing. When people invest, you talk to all the bigger, richer people, or to people that just regularly fucking invest in your regular Joe Schmo. What does investing do? Or what's it supposed to do? Bring some return on your money. That the return isn't going to come in your bank account. So I would caveat and say, don't put money into, you're not timing for when Bitcoin decides to jump. You're not timing for when a crypto or a stock or anything is supposed to jump. You're supposed to put money in constantly because you believe in the company or the project. So I would say, and I'm not saying, we both know there's a lot of people out there right now who just put money into crypto because it boomed. And they're like, well, why didn't I know, 30 days before? You're not going to know 30 days before. But some people will say like, yeah, like you can, there are ways, but that goes into like a whole trading and analysis of the market to know like when we're bulls, bears, what does the past 10 years look like? I sent my chart out to so many people and I said, guys, November, we're going to start going up. You have to start putting money in October. I sent blue arrow. Like I basically set up the chart and I said, here's November, here's November, here's November, here's November after a halving cycle. Here's the next few months. Okay, in 2020 or 2021, we were up 500% on Bitcoin. Okay, the next year we did 200%. Okay, so this November, if we're starting at 60,000 and we went from 500% to 200%, even if we cut that more down, even if we do 50% or 100%, it's still a good return. Why I'm saying all this is because it's like, there is a way to kind of maybe manage on when you're supposed to. But needless to say, if you just started putting in money, just $20 here and there, here and there, here and there, you don't have to wait for being like, fuck, how was I supposed to know 30 days before? And I don't know if that was really a question or just a statement, but that's just my belief. And overall, like, what's a 401k?
No, I was saying I made the segue because like I really didn't know much about crypto. I still don't a lot, but I've seen a lot of people that are successful talking about it and investing in it. So I said, fuck it. I was like, I'm going to throw some money in there. And I put it in some, different, what do they call them? Coins?
Yeah.
I put them in some different coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, but it's all based off, like I know a few, like a handful of people that are involved in it and more in the crypto world, you being one of them. And they're just like throwing out coins that are saying, hey, these are really good. You should buy into these, Ethereum, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but I don't know. But either way, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to put, I got a little bit of extra change. I'm going to put some here and there, kind of spread around a variety of some different coins. But either way, it's like, that's why I brought up the segue, because it's the same thing. I saw successful people doing it, so I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And we were talking on the phone on my way over here, and you were saying that's what a lot of people have done. And you're like, I'm not necessarily going to tell people to invest, you can invest right now when Bitcoin's at 90K, and maybe when it's at 120, you're trying to like call me, ask me, hey, is it time to get into it? I wouldn't say no, but you're like, that's kind of just going into the same theory that you were talking about, putting money into it incrementally.
Let's talk about it for a second here. But so one good segue, I can see what you're saying. But overall, like this is not really fucking financial advice, so not a financial advisor. But like overall, I think everyone should be investing. Like I am not a savings account guy. I don't believe in it. First off, this could go into the fucking election. This could go in so many ways. But
savings account guy.
I don't really believe in a savings. I don't know why anyone would need cash more than $3,000 emergency fund. But I mean, please, I would love, unless you were like about to go buy a property. But like, I don't need $3,000 sitting in my savings account. Like if I'm getting my paycheck every 2 weeks, like I don't need more than that. Like what am I going to do with this cash? It's going to sit there and not work. Like you got to put your money to work. So with that, you find cryptos or you find stocks, whatever kind of guy you are, or you find your risk tolerance and you go there. The other thing I'll say is a lot of people right now, and I think this is very key, they're going to say like, or they are going to start investing. And one, guys, I think that's amazing. I think you guys should just hold it. Just hold it. If my personal coins, I like ICP, I like XRP, and I think Bitcoin's never going to be a bad option. However, if you are investing, let's say I put $1,000 in XRP. If my goal is to take that money out to go buy a Louis Vuitton shirt in 2 weeks or something, it's retarded. You need to invest to just leave it there. Let it do its thing. And you decide when and how you want to take your profit. That, however you decide. Obviously, the normal standard is like the stock market will return like 8 to 12% a year. So if you put in $100, right, or let's say 1,000, and you went up $100, there's your 10%. You could technically pull it out, and that is actually a dub. Some cryptos will do 100%. I called out to my chat 2 weeks ago. I say a chat to like all my friends, like my group chat, and I said, buy XRP today, 71 cents. Buy it, buy it, buy it, please. That Saturday, this last Saturday, XRP went to 130. All you had to do was put $1,000. You're up almost 100%. And then we're still leaving it there because we don't need this money. Why do we need this money? You get paid in like 2 weeks. You don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll say with that is like, I had a buddy of mine who we sat in a room where we were together, and he's like, hey, I'm going to run this option. And basically an option, and no one kill me for this, but like I'm just going to put in layman's terms, is if you bought a stock today, let's say NVIDIA at 140, okay, or 140, you bought NVIDIA, you are going to post a time for it. You're going to choose the time. So you're going to say in 1 year from now, in 1 week from now, in 2 months from now, whatever, you choose the time, you're either putting a long call or a put. So you're saying NVIDIA is 140 today I'm buying. In 1 year, it's going to be above 140. If it's above 140 in 1 year, or at any time in that year, you can execute or you can sell it and you made some money. If it's obviously below, you lost money. Vice versa. If you say, I think it's going to be lower, so on and so forth. I had a buddy, he's like, hey, this option is, it's $2,200 to get in. 6 weeks ago, we're sitting together and we were, he was like, I'm going to get this I'm going to run this one. I was like, fuck, $2,200. Like, I guess I could do it, but I was like, I just don't think it's going to do 100%. And like right now I'm like big on 100% since I'm in crypto. Like I like 100%, just kind of very greedy, but I was like, I don't know if it's going to get to 4,400 by the time we were going to be done, which is we chose it for December. So 6 weeks ago, we said we want to be above by December. And I was like, fuck, I just don't know if it's going to be that good of a return. Like, I don't want to risk 2,200 for like 3,000. I didn't want that risk. Hindsight 2020, today, he can sell that contract for $16,000. So we sat in the room 6 weeks ago. He bought it for 2,200. I bought another company. We both made money. He just happened to make 16,000 and I made like 2,000.
Still made money.
You still make money, but what I'll say is like a lot of people are like now getting in after things are starting to go, and it's like this is all good and all, but it goes back to like, oh, if I would have just put in a month before, but like you don't really know. And trust me, if I knew it was going to go to 16,000 by today, I would have put in the 2,200. I wouldn't have thought about it. Who would think about that? Even if you didn't have $2,200, I guarantee I could tell you, hey, are you sure you don't have it? No, I don't have it. All right, well, just go ask your mom and tell her to give her 4,000. You keep the rest, bro. It'll be a good play. You'd be like, oh, I'll be right back, and you'll go do it. Like we all would. So I don't know. That's kind of like my crypto-ish investing, unless we want to go into like more nitty gritty. But like, I just think like people have to invest. It doesn't make any sense not to. Like, if you pay attention and you try to learn, like your savings account isn't doing good, the dollar isn't doing too good. Trump got elected. He's Elon Musk, and everyone has NVIDIA. Tesla's balance sheet, Bitcoin. Tesla's balance sheet, NVIDIA's balance sheet, MicroStrategy. Everyone, all the companies are buying Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It's like if QQ says that we're going to go buy a Bitcoin, and we're a public company. If Bitcoin's doing good, it might help bring up our value of the company. Everyone's transferring over to it. I don't know. I think there was a while for the last few months I was doing $5 a day in a Bitcoin. That's $30.
All right. Well, my opinion is you said you're not a savings account guy.
No, I don't think I need more than 3,000. That's me. But I would love to hear if you have.
I mean, I'm definitely a savings account guy. I feel like it's always good to have some money for a rainy day.
I'm also single and no kids.
Yeah.
So that's 3,000 for me. I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like I get paid. I get paid every 2 weeks.
You can figure it out,
or every week or every month, however you get paid. But I just, as a single guy with no kids, I don't know why I would need more than 3,000. Like, I had a buddy call me today. He's like, bro, I got a little over 10 just sitting there. Like, what should I do? And I was like, I don't know. Be honest with yourself. Like, do you need 10,000 to just sit there in the savings? Like, find a stock, find something safe. Go with Microsoft, Apple, go with Google, go with fucking Chevron. We're about to enter an energy boom with Trump back in there. Like, find a company that will at least give you 10% in a year. And like, if you really need your $10,000, like maybe you're buying a home. I just don't know why someone would need, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think I can answer that question for you, but I feel like probably the way I was raised, like where we had to live paycheck to paycheck. So it's like we didn't have anything in the bank account for savings, and it's not and it wasn't by choice. You know what I mean? So that's probably why for me, I mean, as long as I can pay my bills and I'm living okay and I can eat, go out and do the things I want to do, maybe have a couple beers with some buddies on the weekend. Like, I don't feel like I necessarily need to be like flying around in a private jet. But at the same time, I do believe like investing your money and having your money make money is something that's enticing to me. It sounds attractive, and that's why I put my money into it. That's why I put my money into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in general, because they said it was going to make money, or they said things about it, like you said, may have return on your investment, but I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't really know anything around it. So I more or less put the money in there that I could afford to lose. Like, you know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So being in a private jet, or even, I believe right now in this day and age, if you don't invest, we're gonna have to set up a GoFundMe for when someone passes away around you, or you're gonna be working. You ever see those 60, 70-year-olds at Vaughn's bagging stuff? That to me is the epitome of I didn't invest. It really is, because the stock market literally has proven to you it does 10% on compounding. So if one day, do you know what an IU, we could go into multiple things, but first off, I don't even like a 401k. I like Roths, right? So Roth IRA. If you don't like that, then you can get an IUL, which is form of life insurance, but you can set up for retirement. Those two are my biggest two, Roth or an IUL. And the IUL is not, it's set with a floor and a cap, and I could literally explain that, but I'm not going to. The point being is,
I feel like you should if you're going to talk about it.
Well,
just so people understand.
Yeah, so
I totally know what the fuck you're talking about. This is definitely for the audience.
And
not
IUL
just me.
is basically just it's not an actual retirement account. It's a life insurance, right? But you can compound it. Fuck, I don't want to break it all down.
Look this shit up then.
I'm telling you what it is. Basically, it has a floor and a roof, an IUL. So you put in, you put in $500 a month, whatever you want to do, and it mirrors the stock market, but it's not in the stock market. So if the stock market goes up 22%, whatever company you have your IUL with, they'll cap you at 12%, right? But on the years that the stock market performs negatively, and when we say stock market, I meaning either NAS or S&P, it'll stop at 0. So if you put in what's 500 times 12? Is it 6,000? So you put in $6,000 a year, and let's say the stock market did amazing that year, did 22%. They're only going to give you 12%. So now you get 6,000 plus 12% on that, which is, let's see, because this will.
Yeah, it's 12%. I get it. You make money.
Well, I want to know 6,000 times 0.12, $720. So now you end the year at 6,720. And then the next year, let's say it's another year, 15%, but it'll cap you at 12. You compound it. Now you have a year where the S&P performed negatively. You don't lose money because you had the floor. It stopped you. Okay, well, why was the floor? Why did it stop me? Well, because they took the profit on the other side. So that is what an IUL does. And then when you turn 65, you can set it up to pay you out until you're 90 years old.
So it can't touch the 6,000 whatever you've already made.
They cannot touch it. You will never lose a fucking penny in an IUL. I have an IUL. It is the safest form of investment.
Let's start off simple. What does IUL stand for?
Index Universal Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it goes year by year, or when is it?
So life insurance. I mean, you.
No, I mean about the making money part. So like.
Yeah, it goes year by year.
So let's say I made, like you said, $700 and whatever dollars.
If the stock market is up, whatever it's up that year, if it's only up 6%, they're only going to give you 6%. If it's past their threshold, they'll give you.
And they pay you out every year.
No, it's a retirement account. They don't pay you out. This is when you're 65 and it's time to retire. I'm bringing this up because a lot of people have
I'm understanding, but I'm asking because I'm saying, so the money that let's say the money that I made
at the end of the year, that 720, yeah, that would be yours.
Are you going to let me ask the question?
Yeah, ask the question.
Okay, I'm just going to say, so yeah, I get what you're saying. That would be mine. So let's say that 720 that I made in 2023, let's say, like you said, the market starts to react negatively. That 700 something is never touched. That's something that I made. And since I made it in 2023, because how the market performed in 2024 won't affect that 700 and that profit that I made.
So if you finish 2023,
that's just what I wanted to clarify.
$6,720, and in 2024 the market decides to perform negatively, your ending balance of 2024 will also be $6,720.
All right, I understand.
So I say all this to tell you that I don't know anyone who's retired successfully without saying, "Did you invest?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, right? That's just me, and I think it's a major issue. I understand the cash thing, but it's what also I'm triggering here is the compounding effect. So if all you got is $100 a month, that's still gonna look very nice when you're 65 inside of the stock market or inside of a Roth. I'll put it there, inside of a Roth. So I don't know. I saw your point with like saying like, yeah.
No, I wasn't saying that you don't invest. I was just saying that I don't think it's all or nothing. I don't think it's either invest all your money and have no savings or have all savings and invest no money. That's like where that's where I was going with it.
And I think it also
because I do both. I mean, I kind of invest here and there. A lot of my money's tied up in real estate because that's a market that I understand very well just because I've been in it since I was so young. But I'm interested in that other shit. I mean, if you can't fucking lose any money year over year, then does sound like something that would be just like I said, pretty attractive. But also it's like we're talking about the history of the stock market. Like, you know, there's been, you know, the Great Depression. Like there is a chance to lose a lot of fucking money if you invest all of it.
That's why I also want to tell you that's why 401ks are trash. The other day I was sitting in a barber chair and some guy was getting a haircut and he's like, I don't even know how it got brought up, but he's like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. They already lost my pension once. And I was like, I've heard that before. I was like, what happened? He's like, yeah, the people that, you know, were in charge of my pension, they bought a fucking piece of land in LA, like to build a stadium, and the land was contaminated. So all his pension and money that he was going to retire, since he's not in charge of it, well, they fucking lost it all. And he's like 35 with kids. So it's like, you are absolutely right. And that's why I brought up IUL and the Roth. Mm-hmm. It's, to me, safer, which is a Roth is very pretty similar. You just get the tax benefits. And it's non-tax. So when you 65, it's not taxed. That's your actual money. Yeah. In
the Roth IRA though, do you have control over what they're investing in?
No, you I have my personal Roth. I do my own.
Oh, so you Roth. Do your own.
Yeah, but you can also go somewhere and ask someone to set you up a Roth. It's just I do all my own investing right now. I don't feel like I have a big enough cash flow or big enough like liquidity to let someone else do it. And even if I did, I feel like I study it so much that I would still, unless I literally got $1 million liquid, I probably am gonna manage my own stuff. That's just me personally. Yeah, because I'll just turn it into real estate too. So, which then I just manage my own real estate portfolios. But with that being said, we have done our Dougies. Last thing though.
How long have we been going for already?
Almost an hour 15. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Last thing. Bears. What happened there?
Yeah, the Bears. For people that don't know, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Wah wah wah. But yeah, we lost on a field goal to our sworn rivals, the Green Bay Packers. And for people that don't know, the Wisconsin or Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears are basically like the biggest rivals in the NFL. Think about like Bloods and Crips, but we're even worse. Like that's how much like these two teams hate each other. And basically we lost by 1 point and we had got the ball. We drove it all the way down on the other side of the field. There's 4 seconds left. All we got to do is kick a field goal and we win. And they blocked the fucking field goal. Sitting there and the Bears have a long history with certain like similar situations, like at the last, seconds of the, ending of the game, is trying to score everything. Basically, it could be, 31 of the 32 teams in the NFL, and you're going to score and you're going to win. But since it's the Bears, it's like we got this thing around us where it's just like we can't fucking do it. And to lose to out of everybody in the league, but for us as the Chicago Bears to lose to the Green Bay Packers in that fucking way. Yeah, it was a bad Sunday to say the least. And then after that, I went to the fucking night game with my boys, and I was just kind of like
Yeah.
depressed. I almost didn't even go.
Well, I'm a Raider fan, so I don't. Yeah,
Nah, you understand.
Yeah, I understand. It's just
It's crazy, bro.
bad.
I mean, no, but we
bad.
haven't beat the Green Bay Packers in the last 4 years, and we play them 2 times a year.
Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty bad.
Now that is pretty bad, but that goes to show is like a testament to just how like honestly the Bears have had a lot of talent over the years. In my opinion, it's the front office and the coaching. It's the general management. It's the general management, the GM, and the head coach. Like, and not even the head coach, but the head coach. Obviously, a lot of people. He's like on the hot seat right now. A lot of people don't like him, Matt Eberflus. But it's like also the surrounding, like the supporting cast, the other coaches, like the position coaches. It's just there's not a good like culture within the Bears like locker room and the organization. Like, and I feel like that is like gets bled out onto the field or bleeds out onto the field like when there's games that are close like this. And we had all this like type of like we had a lot of like talk. We were almost like the talk of the town going into the season. And we had the same coach from last year, but still it's like he came in and it was almost like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 games in, you could kind of feel it, but then we just went downhill again. And it was really our offensive coordinator who we just fired, Shane Waldron. And ever since this interim offensive coordinator came in, who we hired within our own organization, his name's Thomas Brown. He's a younger dude. He used to play in the league, or he was supposed to play in the league. Either way, he's a younger dude. He played football. He was very close to playing in the league, and I'm pretty sure he did play in the league. But either way, the players respect him. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a fellow like football player that can speak the language, and then also it's like the way that he comes across like on TV, like when he's giving his like interviews and shit like that, is very confident. Like confidence through the roof. He doesn't mind taking accountability, and those are all things that I feel like our previous offensive coordinator and our head coach, for that matter, had a problem doing. But yeah, hopefully it gets better. But it was just a
bad day.
It was a bad day.
Bad football
to say the
week
least.
for you, huh?
Nah, bro.
Bad football week. You pass out at the game. Just kidding.
But I'm just saying, like, bro, block the fucking field. I mean, we could have at least missed the field goal. We couldn't even get it off. They blocked the fucking field goal in the last second of the game. The game ends, Green Bay Packers 20, the Bears 19. And we were leading in the last 5 minutes of the game. They went ahead in like the last 3 minutes, and that's when we got the ball. We got it all the way down.
Did you see the
went for it on a couple 4th downs and were successful.
Did you see that after the post conference? What the guy said that blocked it?
No,
I manifested that shit, bro.
I've honestly been so dejected. I haven't even been looking at a lot of football. I haven't even set up my fantasy football fucking roster for next week.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for coming to another P2P episode. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, much love. I guess I'm done talking about my
Bears are done. They're gone.